What's going on, everybody? This is your host, GBs, and welcome to Into the Square Circle podcast, the Weekend Insider. And this episode is the post WWE Crown Jewels went down this past weekend, this past Saturday, to be exact, on a premium live event on the Peacock Network. So we will talk about that, and let's see if my predictions were all right or were they all wrong. If you heard my prediction episode via through podcast, which is available on all major podcasting outlets like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, all you have to do is search Into the Square Circle podcast right now. And also available on Facebook, X, Instagram, and right here on YouTube. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, my friends. All right, so we'll have my posts WWE Crown Jewels results as well. Also, we'll have a quick results on New Japan Pro Wrestling Power Struggles that went down this past weekend as well, this past Saturday, November 4th. So we'll do a quick, fast recap on the show. What else we'll talk? We'll talk about a little bit of AEW Collision. This went down this past Saturday on TNT. Man, it's like my fifth cup of coffee. But you know what? It's all good, man, because we're going to talk about all things pro wrestling. So let's kick off the show talking about WWE Crown Jewels that went down this past Saturday on the Peacock Network, November 4th to be exact, if you're keeping tabs on time here, 2023 in Saudi Arabia. So the first match was the pre-show. Now, in my predictions, it was originally supposed to be The Miz versus Gunther. Apparently, Gunther having some kind of restriction issues flying out of the country. So this match got scrapped. So it became a match between JD McDonough versus Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn had a huge reaction coming out. I don't remember if he had pyro or not, but man, just crowd was hot. Sami Zayn came out and just beat the crap out of JD McDonough, pinned him 1, 2, 3 for the win. And Sami Zayn wins the kickoff pre-show match to get the pay-per-view started, shall we? All right, so the first match kicks off, and it's going to be for the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Hell of a match. I'll tell you right now, if you haven't seen it, spoiler, folks, go watch it. Stop watching this and go watch this match. Just Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior. Man, what a match. So, as I got the notes here, folks, the bell rings and the match is under the way. Drew gets Seth in the corner, but the ref breaks up. Drew with a shoulder tackle knocks down Seth Rollins. So already, Drew McIntyre is just going gun blazing on Seth Rollins. Now, this match was phenomenal. There was a spot where Drew used the apron on Seth's back. Now, remember, the key part in this match is Seth's back. If you've been keeping up with the story, you know Seth Rollins has a broken back. So that's the key weakness coming from Seth Rollins, is by using that lower back as a target to slow him down. So there was a point in the match where Drew McIntyre was preparing for a Claymore kick. He was going to go for it, but Seth hits him with a super kick followed by a stomp. He goes for the cover, but Drew McIntyre kicks out. This match is ready, getting intense already. Seth Rollins climbs to the top rope, goes for the corkscrew moonsault, but Drew moves out the way. Drew hits Seth with the Claymore, but he goes for the cover, but Seth Rollins kicked out. That was the point. Well, fans thought Drew McIntyre almost had him. Drew almost won the title from that spot. Drew goes for another Claymore kick, but Seth with a kick. Drew goes for another Claymore, but Seth moves out of the way and hits him with a pedigree. Seth with a stop, goes for the cover and gets the win. Wow. So Seth Rollins retains the world champion. Now, after the match, Damian Priest came out with the contract. He came down there with a referee. He told the ring announcer, announce this match will happen. I will cash in my briefcase. Sure enough, someone comes through the crowd in the black ski mask and a black jacket. and start attacking Damian Priest before the match started. And no other, that person took that ski mask, and that was Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn decided to stick around after his pre-show match to attack Damian Priest. And I guess sounds like Damian Priest never actually cashed it. The bell never rang, so it's still good, right? So Damian Priest never had his chance because of Sami Zayn stopping him. So how about that? By the way, another win in my predictions. Good stuff, right? All right, so up next, we have the Women's World Championship match, a fatal five-way match. Rhea Ripley put her WWE Women's Champion in the line against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks versus Raquel Rodriguez. Great match. All five women bust their asses off. They all look great. Raquel Rodriguez looks phenomenal as always. I talked about that in my predictions. There's a spot match where Rhea grabs Zoe on the top rope. Raquel goes for the cover, but into Shayna, but Rhea with the riptide off the second rope on Zoe until Raquel, who has covered Shayna. Rhea goes for the cover on Shayna and gets the pin. And Rhea Ripley retains the women's champion. How about that? How about that? And I told you my predictions. If you watch it out here on YouTube, you listen on the podcast, I said there's a pretty good chance she is a dominant women's female champion, and she has a record of her own she's going to dust into. And again, nothing against the other woman in the matches, but there's a pretty good chance they're not going to get the title, minus Raquel. Raquel has a lot of potential, but now is not the time. So Rhea Ripley, she retained, and as predicted, I got this one right. So not too bad. Not too bad for my predictions. I already got 2 wins in so far. Come on, give it to me. All right, up next, we have the advertisement, a Survivor Series right here in Chicago, right? See my hat, right? At the Allstate Arena, and they officially announced War Games will return for Survivor Series, not NXT, Survivor Series War Games. How exciting is that? That's a couple of weeks away, man. All right, so we got John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. Hell of a match. Hell of a match. If you follow me on my X profile into the Square Circle podcast, formerly known as Twitter, I tweeted, said, thank you, Cena, man. And we'll tell you the reason and why. So Cena, again, looks great. Looks great. Cena with a waist lock, headlock takedown. Cena stomps on Solo Sikoa's arm. So that's just to kick off the show. Kick off the show. Eventually, Solo Sikoa hit a headbutt and stomps on Cena, so things reversed here in the middle of the ring. Solo with another headbutt. Solo throws Cena on the ropes and hits him with a spinning wheel kick, which I thought was very impressive. So as the match got closer to the end here, folks, Solo Sikoa with another Samoan spike. Cena gets back up. Solo with another Samoan spike. The 2 spikes on Cena. Cena gets back up, and Solo hits another 3 Samoan spikes. He sits Cena down, repeatedly hits him with the Samoa spike. Solo goes for the pin. And this was the defining moment, folks, even as me as a fan watching this. John Cena gets the loss. Solo Sikoa pins Cena 1, 2, 3. By the way, Solo Sikoa had a pyro and everything for his entrance. How about that? Cena had a huge reaction. The crowd was singing. This match was phenomenal. Nice story for Cena. Question is, folks, I'm going to ask you, the listeners and viewers, is this it for John Cena? That's it for him? Is this the last time we will see John Cena in the ring? Think about that. Could this potentially be the last time we will see John Cena in the ring? He did his bow. He waved to the crowd. Was this his swan song? His riding off in the sunset? Well, look, we know he has commitments in Hollywood, as discussed in my prediction episode. But do you see Cena returning? Again, his schedule is going to be a little hectic, a little crazy. But you know what? I'm happy with the outcome. Maybe this is what he wanted. Give the younger talent over, right? Get the younger talent over. Give more heat on Solo Sikoa. He defeated John Cena, the greatest of all time, on one of the biggest stages that's not WrestleMania, in front of a sold out stadium in Saudi Arabia. Phenomenal. And you know what? I'm satisfied with what Cena did. And if this is it for him, this is it. And I'm happy for him. If you're going to go out big. And I think that's what he did. If he got any plans for WrestleMania, I don't know. I don't know what his schedule. I'm not his agent booker, so I can't say. But as a fan, I'm happy how it ended there. So if that was the last time we see Cena in a ring, I'm happy with it. All right, so after that, we had The Miz have Miz TV, and they brought out Saudi Arabia's biggest actor, Abraham Al-Aji. He came out. I guess he's one of the biggest actors in the Middle East, and he came out there in Miz TV. Grayson Waller came out, just moving more like a goofy comedy segment. So I kind of skipped through that. All right, so we have the next match, the United States Championship match. Rey Mysterio will put his U.S. champion on the line against Logan Paul, mogul, social media creator, megastar, boxer, wherever the hell he is. But so I love the entrance, right? I love the package. Logan Paul was out in the desert inside of a we call those doom buggies out in the desert of, what the hell, Egypt or whatever the desert is out there in Saudi Arabia. He's out there doing burnouts, and he decided to show up in the stadium with the doom buggy. So nice little entrance for Logan Paul. Rey Mysterio had a nice reaction as well from the fans. He got pyro. So it was good to see Mysterio as always. So as predicted, Logan Paul, man, they just go head to head just to kick off the match between him and Rey Mysterio. Logan Paul is just phenomenal. Say what you want. Rey Mysterio has been in the business for what, decades, right? Years, entertaining fans for years. Logan Paul has been in the WWE for a couple of years. And it's impressive to see Logan Paul in the ring and the way he wrestles. It is phenomenal. I'll give him credit where credit is due. But man, so there's a spot in the match here where he, let's see, obviously Santos Escobar came out, of course, during the match. Rey jumps off the top rope, but Logan Paul hits him with the right hand with the brass knuckles. Now, in this match, Logan Paul had his cronies, his buddies, come out and help him cheat by throwing the brass knuckles on the ring. Now, Logan Paul hit him, and that was a spot where I tell you where Rey jumped off the top ropes. Logan Paul popped him with the brass knuckles with the ref not looking. Logan Paul gets the pin and wins the U.S. title. So I got that one right. Now, I'd anticipate him winning because of his cronies, but again, I had some gutsy feeling that Logan Paul was going to win, and he won. And he is now the United States champion. How about that? And another win in my victory. By the way, my John Cena versus Solo Sikoa, I picked the John Cena, and I got that one wrong. So my first loss, but I'll take it. All right, so let's go on to the next match here. WWE World's Women's Championship match. Io Sky will put her title on the line against EST Bianca Belair. So it was a great match. So the bell rings, and here we go. The match starts. Bianca with a waistlock takedown, followed by a shoulder tackle by Io, rolls up to the outside, Bianca to the outside, and she slams Io Sky face onto the ring apron to kick off the match. So you already know this match is going to kick ass when the way it starts that way. So as we go deeper into the match here, folks, Bayley shows up to ringside. Shocking. I thought they were banned, but I guess they were not. Bailey showed up. That distracts Bianca, who's on the top rope. She goes for the crossbody, but Io moves out of the way. Io Sky goes for the cover, but Bianca kicks out. Io Sky goes for the double underhook, but Bianca lands on her feet. Phenomenal. So as we get going, we had a surprise. We had a surprise in the match. Now, it's been rumored that this lovely lady who came from New Japan and Stardom, and she's a massive star in Japan, WWE brought her back. I'm talking about Kairi Sane, the pirate. She decided to show up, surprise the fan, to help out Io Sky, by the way, who retain the title. I did not expect a Kairi Sane to show up and get involved. I didn't expect that, which threw off my prediction. I was hoping Bianca was going to win. She had potential in this match. But Kairi Sane came out, and man, there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of rumors of a new potential women's faction. And I'm all for it. Hear me out. Io Sky and Kairi Sane used to be former women's partners in Stardom, right? The all women's Japan promotion, right? And obviously, it is no stranger. There are actual real friends backstage, right? So you put those two together and you put Asuka. That's amazing. What a woman's faction. Kairi Sane, Io Sky, and Asuka. That is a powerful women's faction, which we don't have a lot of women's faction in the WWE. A lot of guys, or at least mixed gender, like the Judgment Day with Rhea Ripley and all the guys. So that would be a powerful women's faction. Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. That's pretty amazing. But nothing's official, but we'll have to keep our eyes peeled. Maybe this coming Monday. We'll have to wait and see on Raw. But nonetheless, Io Sky won, another lost in my predictions. All right, here we go. Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes. So Damian Priest failed to cash in the briefcase during the Seth Rollins match. So that didn't work out. So here we go. The bell rings and the match is underway between Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes. Cody with a drop down right hand. Cody slams Priest and Priest rolls to the outside of the ring. So right off the bat, Cody, he's jumping the gun here. If you watched it, I'm like, damn, Cody's going for it. So the match gets going here, and Priest gets Cody in a corner, hits him with a splash, goes for another splash, but Cody hits him with a drop kick. So as the match got closer to the end, of course, we also have Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough decided to come out. Are you surprised we getting some interference from the Judgment Day? So to kind of even the score, Jay Uso came out to even the score, took out JD McDonough. That distracts Priest, and Jay chases the Judgment Day to the back. Long story short here as the match gets close to the end here. Cody lifts Priest up. Priest lands on his feet. He grabs Cody, but Cody reverses into the crossroads and another crossroads and a third crossroads. And Cody's just going crazy with these crossroads. And with all those crossroads, he pins Damian Priest and gets the win. Impressive win for Cody Rhodes. And the story continues. I said in my predictions, long story booking here, folks. Cody has to move on here because we'll tie into the main event because you gotta have Roman as the champion if you want to continue the story for Cody Rhodes, right? All right. Speaking of the championship main event, here we go, folks. Main event times. The world universal champion Roman Reigns will put his championship on the line against L.A. Knight. Yeah. And wow, what a superstar main event. This was a main event feel. I swear to you, this is a main event feel. So Roman Reigns came out and man, he felt like a god. How's Don Callis was saying to Kenny Omega, he has got. And he came out with his champions, pyro everywhere. And then LA Knight came out and just what a massive pop. And it just all the signs all the fans had of LA Knight in the crowd. And as I'm watching this, it's amazing. It's amazing how LA Knight's career has unfolded the past couple of years. It's amazing, right? Just remember watching LA Knight, who was Eli Drake in TNA or Impact Wrestling, came to the WWE as Max Dupree, part of the Maximum Male Models, and I just can't take this guy serious. And they switched him to LA Knight, and fans were like laughing at him. And then just steam got picked up, and look at him now. He's a massive mega star, like overnight sensation. It is phenomenal to see him to wrestle in front of an X amount of crowd in Impact Wrestling to a sold out stadium, main event in Crown Jewels to face Roman Reigns. That is an impressive story for LA Knight. So it's good to see that. But nevertheless, man, the crowd was red hot for this match. The bell rings and the match gets going. LA Knight with the right hand swinging net breaker. So he just go in for the deep against Roman Reigns. A right hand by LA Knight, and he throws Romans into the rope, but Reigns with an elbow to the face. So right off the bat, man, it's a slobber knocker. So there was a point in the match where Paul Heyman distracts LA Knight and Roman slides into the outside of the ring. Knight with a baseball slide into Roman Reigns. So the match gets going here, folks. There was a point where Roman Reigns grabbed LA Knight, gets him in a chokehold in the middle of the ring. LA Knight begins to fade, but gets into his feet. Right hand by LA Knight, and he slams Roman into the corner. Roman gets LA Knight back into the chokehold, but Knight picks up Roman up and hangs him up the top rope. LA Knight hit him with the BFT. That right there, folks. He goes for the cover, but Jimmy puts Roman's leg onto the bottom rope. LA Knight goes to the outside of the ring and hits Jimmy with the right hand. So Jimmy Uso gets involved in this match. So he slams Jimmy into the announcer table. Roman's to the outside. Knight slams him onto the announcer table. LA Knight throws Roman into the ring post. You thought that was the turning point right there, folks, but it's not. Because Jimmy eventually goes for the super kick, but LA Knight catches him, throws him to the announcer table. Roman spears LA Knight to the barricade onto the outside. He throws LA Knight back into the ring. Roman with the spear and goes for the cover and gets the win. There you go, folks. Roman Reigns defeated LA Knight in a star spectacle main event. And Roman Reigns walk out and retains the undisputed champion, and his streaks continue on. Was it 3.5 years as Michael Cole was breaking down the stats? And I saw something on social media. 3.5 years. 54 or 94 defense. Hulk Hogan had 420 something defense. And my understanding, the late 70s and 80s schedules were even more tougher than it was today, WWE schedule. So think about that. Roman Reigns, 3.5 years, but he had less title defense than Hulk Hogan, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's me. But nevertheless, man, great match. Overall, was a great premium live event. By the way, Roman Reigns won my picks. I won, and I am 5-2 in my prediction. So 5 wins, 2 lost. Not too shabby, right? And if you follow me on my X Into the Square Circle podcast, formerly known as Twitter, I put a poll up there, of course. So kind of join the conversation if you're a fan like myself. And I thought I put the poll up there and asked the question, what's your thoughts on WWE Crown Jewels? 25% of you guys said it was great. 25% of you guys said it was bad. 42% you said it was it was all right. And 8% of you guys said you haven't watched it yet. So thank you for participating as always. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're listening on a podcast, and if you watch Crown Jewels, let me know what you guys think. Into the Square Circle podcast on Facebook, X, Instagram, and right here on YouTube. All right, folks, let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling Power Struggle. Went down this past Saturday, November 4th, in Asuka Professional Gymnasium in Japan. So Osaka, not Asuka, Osaka, Japan to be exact. So we'll do the quick results here really quick. We had the United Empire faced the Youngbloods. So it's going to be Callium Newman and Jeff Cobb defeated the Youngblood and Oscar Lube and Yuto Nakashima in a tag team match. El Desperado and Master Wato defeated Yo and Mashushi and the Bullet Club War Dogs versus Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors in a fatal four-way tag team match. All right, up next, the Intergalactic Jet Setters. That's an interesting one. Kevin Knight and Kushida and Tama Tonga defeated Los Incurables de Japón, which comprised of Bushi, Titan, and Shingo Tagachi in a six-man tag team match. Los Incurables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito and Yota Tsuji defeated just five guys, which is Yuya Unimura and Sanada in a tag team match. David Finlay defeated Tonga Loa by pinfall in a singles match. Jon Moxley versus Great O'Khan ended in a double countout. Eventually, they redoed the match and end up doing a false count anywhere match where Jon Moxley defeated Great O'Khan. And we had Team Chaos, which is Kuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroshi Tanahashi, defeated Team DMDK, which is Zack Sabre Jr., Mikey Nichols, and Shane Hayes for the six-man tag team match for the Never Openweight Champion. And up next, Catched 2 and 2, which is Francisco Akira and TJP, defeated House of Torture, which is Sho and Kanemaru, for the 2023 Super Junior Tag Team League Finals. Up next, Hiromu Takahashi defeated Taishi Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. And for the main event, Will Ospreay defeated Shota Umino for the IWGP United Kingdom Heavyweight Champion match. By the way, and this was just announced over the weekend, and this is going to be a phenomenal. Bryan Danielson's been teasing about Wrestle Kingdom 2024. It's officially been announced. Kushika Okada will face Bryan Danielson, number 2, at Wrestle Kingdom 2024. Oh my gosh, talk about Christmas and wrestling. Okada, Danielson 2 at Wrestle Kingdom in Japan. That's amazing. That is amazing. I'm excited. As a wrestling fan, this is like excitement to see Okada and Danielson. We finally get Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Kingdom, the holy grail of Japanese pro wrestling. So this is very, very exciting. I cannot wait to Wrestle Kingdom January 2024. Amazing. All right, so AEW Collision this past Saturday. I won't speak too much about it, but some of the things that was pretty good, right? We had National 69-Day Championship Celebration for the Acclaim. I thought that was a very entertaining, of course. Eventually, that became a match between the Acclaim and Daddy Ass. And I forgot who they wrestled, but eventually the House of Black tried to get interfered in this match. What else going on at Collision? Nothing too crazy. We had Ricky Starks in the main event with Big Bill, of course. MJF made cameo throughout the show as well. Nothing too crazy this past Saturday. Nothing too crazy. Nothing really stood out that I thought was big crazy stuff here. Obviously they teased a couple matches for this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. So we got stuff going on that as well. All right, folks. So here we go. That's it. We made it this far. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. As I mentioned, the podcast is available in all major podcasting outlets like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, hit the subscribe today. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe right here, right now. All right, friends, until next time, happy wrestling, be safe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.